Before I get on out of here, I had to talk about a story that's very, very important. And albeit indirectly.
Welcome back, everyone. Today, we are diving into a story that has shaken the WNBA and sent shockwaves through the sports world. Caitlin Clark, the rookie phenom who has dominated headlines since stepping onto the court, reportedly turned down a staggering $20 million opportunity. Yes, you heard that right, $20 million. For context, that's more than the lifetime earnings of nearly every WNBA player in history combined. And it wasn't just any offer. This was a multi-year package, potentially including equity and high-profile exposure. Enough to change the trajectory of a young athlete's career forever. Stephen A. Smith broke the news. His take is explosive. He frames this not as a simple business decision, but as a seismic power shift in women's basketball. While the WNBA touts incremental growth and careful salary caps, Clark is sending a clear message. She doesn't need the league's approval, the traditional marketing machinery, or even their money. By saying no, she's flexing leverage that most players can only dream of. But why would a rookie reject such an eye-popping offer? The answer lies in understanding the respect she commands and the disrespect she's endured. From restrictive contracts to underestimation by veterans and league officials, Clark has been navigating a system that has historically undervalued female athletes. This $20 million rejection isn't just financial, it's symbolic. It signals that she sees herself as bigger than a single paycheck, bigger than the league, and poised to redefine what it means to be a star in women's sports. In a world where most rookies would grab the first big offer, Clark is calculating long-term dominance. Stephen A. Smith calls it a wake-up call for the WNBA, a public warning that the league may have underestimated just how much power and influence its brightest star truly wields. For the commissioner, for the veterans, and for fans watching closely, this is more than news. It's a seismic moment signaling that the rules of engagement in women's basketball are changing. And Caitlin Clark is leading the revolution. Caitlin Clark isn't just rejecting money, she's redefining power in women's basketball. Most rookies enter the league chasing contracts, endorsements, and validation from the system. Clark, however, is flipping the script. By turning down $20 million Australian dollars offer, she's making it clear that her worth isn't dictated by the WNBA, the veterans, or even the legacy of the league itself. This is a bold move that has left Commissioner Cathy Engelbert stunned, and it signals a dramatic shift in the power dynamics of professional sports. Stephen Smith frames it perfectly. Clark is essentially a corporation disguised as a point guard. Her marketability, endorsements, and global attention dwarf what the league can offer through traditional contracts. Nike, Gatorade, Wilson, her deals outside the WNBA give her leverage that no rookie before her has ever had. She's not just playing basketball. She's playing business at a level few athletes can comprehend. Rejecting the offer isn't arrogance, it's strategy. A calculated move that positions her to control the narrative and dictate her own terms. The impact on the league is immediate. By asserting independence, Clark challenges the WNBA's traditional control. The commissioner and front office now face a reality they haven't had to confront before: a player who doesn't need to comply to succeed. Every missed media event, every decision to rest, every endorsement she chooses to prioritize has ripple effects. Clark's choices could dictate viewership, ticket sales, and the financial stability of the league itself. For fans and observers, this is electrifying. It's more than a story about money. It's a story about respect, influence, and the courage to stand alone. Clark's decision forces everyone to ask, who really holds the power in women's basketball? The league or the players? And if one rookie can shift the balance this dramatically, what does it mean for the future of the sport? Stephen A. Smith isn't just reporting. He's narrating a revolution in real time, and Caitlin Clark is leading it. Imagine being WNBA Commissioner Cathy Engelbert right now. Your brightest star, the rookie everyone expected to follow the league's traditional path, just walked away from $20 million Australian dollars offer. It's not just a financial hit, it's a wake-up call that the league may have lost its grip on its most valuable asset. Clark isn't just saying no to money, she's saying no to control, no to the status quo, and no to a system that has historically undervalued female athletes. Stephen A. Smith doesn't hold back. He points out the stark reality: the WNBA's model is built on player compliance, relying on the league to generate salaries, media exposure, and promotional leverage. But Clark disrupts that ecosystem. With her massive endorsement deals, global attention, and potential equity stakes outside the league, She has created a scenario where the WNBA needs her far more than she needs them. The $20 million rejection isn't reckless. It's a masterclass in leverage. The commissioner's panic is understandable. The league's upcoming media deals, ticket revenue, and marketing momentum are all tied to Clark's presence. If she decides to prioritize rest, personal ventures, or outside leagues, the WNBA loses not just financial stability, but the narrative itself. For the first time, the league is forced into a reactive position, scrambling to maintain relevance while its top talent dictates the terms. Clark's rejection also exposes a deeper problem: the fragile balance between rookie contracts, veteran expectations, and league economics. By turning down this enormous deal, she sets a precedent. Other players are watching. If Clark can say no and thrive, it challenges the established order, forcing the league to rethink its approach to talent, contracts, and player empowerment. Stephen A. Smith frames it as a revolution in progress, and for those following closely, it's clear the WNBA is no longer in full control, and Caitlin Clark is leading the charge. The story doesn't stop with the WNBA. Caitlin Clark's $20 million rejection also hints at opportunities beyond the league. Opportunities that could reshape women's basketball entirely. Rumors swirl around the new, unrivaled league. It's founded by stars like Breena Stewart and Nafisa Collier. It's promising salaries, equity stakes, and ownership opportunities that the WNBA simply cannot match. For Clark, these offers aren't just alternatives, they're leverage. A way to dictate her future rather than follow a script written by others. Stephen A. Smith frames it clearly. Clark isn't chasing a paycheck. She's building a platform. By rejecting an enormous offer now, she signals that she's playing the long game. Equity, ownership, and strategic partnerships could make her influence far greater than any single-season salary. It's a move that rookie players in any sport rarely consider. But Clark has the confidence, brand power, and foresight to take this calculated risk. The WNBA front office is reportedly scrambling. Every day, Clark remains independent, creates pressure on scheduling, marketing, media rights, and sponsorships. Commissioner Engelbert knows that if Clark begins to prioritize outside ventures or selective appearances, the league's financial model could be exposed as insufficient to retain its stars. The ripple effect is huge. Other players may start questioning the system, and the WNBA risks losing control over the most talented and marketable athletes. Clark's strategy also sends a clear message to the veterans and the gatekeepers of the league. The system that once dictated terms, enforced hierarchies, and controlled narratives is now being challenged by a single player who refuses to conform. Stephen A. Smith calls it a paradigm shift, emphasizing that this moment isn't just about money, it's about power, respect, and the ability to redefine the sport on her own terms. Caitlin Clark isn't just making history on the court, she's rewriting the rules off it, and everyone in the league knows it. Caitlin Clark's decision to reject $20 million isn't just about financial strategy, it's also about navigating the politics and personal dynamics of the WNBA. From the moment she entered the league, Clark faced scrutiny, skepticism, and at times outright disrespect. Veteran players, media narratives, and even referees have all contributed to an environment where her talent was questioned or downplayed. Hard fouls on the court, offhand comments from legends, and subtle gatekeeping created a backdrop that could have easily intimidated a rookie bud. Clark isn't most players. Stephen A. Smith has been relentless in highlighting these dynamics, arguing that the league has underestimated Clark's influence and resilience. By turning down a massive offer, she sends a signal to everyone that she won't compromise her value or her principles to fit into a broken system. This move distances her from toxic politics, proving she can thrive independently while asserting control over her career. The audacity of saying no in the face of such pressure not only elevates her status, but also forces the league to confront its own shortcomings in treating women athletes fairly. Clark's rejection exposes an uncomfortable truth. The WNBA has long relied on player compliance to maintain hierarchy. The gap between rookies and veterans, between marketable stars and salary structures, has always been present, but Clark has now highlighted it publicly. Her choices shine a spotlight on the disparity in earnings, the inequities in contract structures, and the limitations of a league that hasn't fully adapted to the modern sports landscape. Fans and commentators alike are captivated because this story isn't just about money, it's about courage, strategy, and accountability. Clark is not only a rookie with talent, she's a disruptor challenging the league's culture, power dynamics, and outdated norms. Stephen A. Smith frames it as more than a contract story. It's a statement: respect me, pay attention, or watch me redefine the rules on my terms. Caitlin Clark isn't just making headlines for rejecting $20 million Australian deal size, proving the power of patience, foresight, and strategic thinking. This isn't her first time betting on herself. Remember the earlier $5 million offer from Ice Cube's Big Three League? Many thought she was crazy to turn it down. But Clark knew the value of focusing on her craft and letting her marketability grow. That gamble paid off. Now we're talking about $20 million, a sum that dwarfs anything most WNBA players have ever seen. Stephen Smith calls this a masterclass in business strategy. Clark is thinking long-term, prioritizing brand equity, endorsements, and potential ownership stakes over immediate cash. She understands that a short-term payout is meaningless compared to the leverage she gains by controlling her own narrative. In other words, Clark isn't playing checkers. She's playing 4D chess while everyone else is reacting move by move. Her approach highlights a glaring reality for the WNBA. While veterans fight for incremental salary increases, Clark operates in a completely different financial ecosystem. Nike, Gatorade, and Wilson's sponsorships provide her with wealth that makes a $20 million rookie offer almost irrelevant. That level of financial independence allows her to reject deals that don't align with her vision, health, or brand. She's no longer dependent on the league now. The league depends on her, for fans and players. The lesson is clear: knowing your worth and refusing to settle can redefine an industry. Clark's actions aren't just bold, they're transformative. She's showing the world that talent alone isn't enough. Understanding leverage, timing, and strategy can make you untouchable. Stephen A. Smith frames it as a wake-up call to the league. The old rules no longer apply, and Clark is leading the charge, proving that real power comes from self-belief, patience, and the courage to turn down even the largest offers when the moment isn't, right? Caitlin Clark's $20 million rejection doesn't just shake the WNBA's finances, it ignites emotions across the league. Veteran players who have spent years grinding for modest pay increases can't help but feel the sting of jealousy. Clark walks in as a rookie and immediately commands offers that dwarf the salaries and recognition of even the league's most seasoned stars. Human nature makes it inevitable. Envy and resentment start to bubble, creating tension in locker rooms and off the court. Stephen A. Smith has been vocal about this dynamic, refusing to ignore the elephant in the room. He frames the story as more than a financial dispute. It's about attention, it's validation, and the fragile egos of those who built the league under difficult conditions. Clark's rise challenges the traditional hierarchy. Smith calls her the golden goose that everyone depends on, but few fully appreciate. The jealousy isn't just personal, it's structural. The WNBA system is built on the assumption that players are reliant on league salaries and controlled pathways. Clark's independence exposes a vulnerability the league can't afford to ignore. Beyond the locker room, Clark's moves set a precedent for every ambitious player watching. If a rookie can reject $20 million and still thrive, what message does that send? The bar is raised, and the established order is disrupted. Other top-tier talent now sees the potential to leverage endorsements, equity opportunities, and outside ventures to bypass the limitations of traditional contracts. The WNBA faces a new reality. Control has shifted from the league to the players. With Clark leading the charge, for fans, this tension is irresistible. It's drama, strategy, and disruption wrapped into one story. Clark isn't just earning attention, she's creating a cultural moment. The jealousy, the outrage, and the speculation all feed into the narrative that women's basketball is no longer governed by old rules. It's being rewritten in real time. With Caitlin Clark at the center of the revolution and Stephen A. Smith ensuring the world watches every move, the media plays a critical role in this story, and Caitlin Clark knows it. By turning down $20 million, she isn't just making a financial statement, she's controlling the narrative. Stephen A. Smith, arguably the loudest voice in sports media, has attached himself to this story, framing Clark as a disruptor, challenging the WNBA's outdated systems. He highlights how league-centric media often protects veterans' egos while downplaying rookie achievements. But Clark refuses to be sidelined. This creates a perfect storm for engagement. Fans, analysts, and commentators are captivated by the drama. The rookie versus the establishment. Money versus respect. Autonomy versus control. Every day, Clark remains independent, drives conversation, speculation, and headlines. It's not just about contracts anymore. It's about influence and perception. Clark's decision exposes a league-wide fragility, the idea that without her, the WNBA loses momentum, ratings, and credibility. Stephen A. Smith amplifies every angle, turning a financial choice into a cultural moment. He frames Clark as untouchable, a player who doesn't need validation from the system. By leveraging media coverage, Clark extends her influence beyond the court, ensuring that her brand and decisions dominate the sports conversation. The WNBA faces an unprecedented challenge, a player dictating terms in a system built to control them. This story isn't just captivating, it's viral by design. Fans are emotionally invested, sharing opinions, debating loyalties, and speculating on Clark's next moves. By rejecting $20 million, Clark doesn't just challenge the league, she reshapes the conversation around power, respect, and the future of women's sports, proving that narrative control is as important as performance on the court. So, what does this all mean for the WNBA and women's basketball? Caitlin Clark's actions are more than a single contract decision. They are a revolution in progress. By rejecting $20 million, she asserts that talent, marketability, and personal strategy outweigh traditional league control. Stephen A. Smith calls it a wake-up call for the establishment, a signal that the rules of engagement are changing, and that the league can no longer dictate terms to its stars. Clark's decision also sets a precedent. If one rookie can leverage endorsements, equity opportunities, and strategic choices to thrive independently, others will follow. The league faces a potential shift in power dynamic. The players hold real leverage, and the old system of rookie compliance and incremental growth becomes irrelevant. The WNBA's monopoly on talent is now under scrutiny, and the future may demand innovation, higher salaries, and more player autonomy, or risk losing stars to rival leagues or independent ventures. Financially, socially, and culturally, Clark's move is a blueprint for the modern athlete. Think long-term, value your brand, and never let short-term gain dictate your vision. She has already demonstrated mastery over leverage, narrative, and influence, showing that rejecting money can be more powerful than accepting it. For fans, the intrigue continues. Will Clark eventually reshape the league from the inside? Will rival leagues challenge the WNBA's dominance? One thing is clear, Caitlin Clark isn't just playing basketball, she's leading a revolution, and Stephen A. Smith is ensuring the world witnesses every move. The power has shifted, and the WNBA may never be the same.